Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, pimps and sips, welcome back to the Mac Life, the #1 podcast here in the world, back for episode 145. Now, if you're new to the channel, we go over absolutely everything to do with growing your brand online, monetizing that brand, OnlyFans marketing for creators, and OnlyFans management, so how to manage girls' OnlyFans accounts. If this is the first podcast you've watched, okay, you might be watching it here on YouTube, but it's not only on YouTube. We're also on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Music, we're on absolutely everything. So I do these in a podcast style format. So essentially we go over some updates first and then we get into the juice at the end. And today's video is going to focus on an OnlyFans startup guide. So if you're thinking about starting OnlyFans or maybe you're in it and you want to scale, either as a manager or as a creator, we're going to go through what you should look out for because there's some key things that you need to watch out for. Today's also sponsored by a big forehead zit, as you can see, but that ain't stopping me from dropping out the bangers. Now, we have quite a few little updates to get through. Obviously, I didn't upload at all yesterday, and most people are like, come on, Mr. Consistent, what happened? So essentially, we went out for Father's Day. This isn't an excuse for not uploading. We went out for Father's Day. We went out to some way outback Aussie little town. Went out for a big pub lunch and everything, and by the time we got back, it was extremely late. But I had, for the first time ever, if you know me, professional, I do not lose shit, I'd lost my car keys. So the rest of the night was spent searching for my car keys because if not for this, you know, we have to get someone out. We have to get it towed. We have to get a special key made. Like just for a key replacement, it's probably looking at like 1,500 AUD. So yeah, it was spent searching for my car keys. So long story short, we ended up finding it was a crazy little experience there. But by that time, was wrecked that night, and I was up very early, considering the night before I went to bed at about 2 a.m. I was up grinding, and then, went to bed at 2, got up at 6. I was operating on 4 hours sleep, and last night I just called it a night. So I can do that because I'm wealthy, but at the same time, I was fuming because I didn't get to put out the podcast, and I'm very big on... It's not even about consistency anymore. It's what I enjoy doing the most, the filming these podcasts, creating media, putting out value, doing these things. This is the highlight of my day each day. So yeah, I really missed it. Now we have quite a few updates to go through. The saddest update that I could possibly give you. This one, we've been chipping away at it, you know, over the space of 9 months now. So I'm going to throw out a last tangent, a last string of life. If you've been watching, been trying to get verified on Instagram, we've gone through the Google Knowledge Panel route. We've lost thousands of dollars trying different methods, articles, getting fucking scammed, all this shit. Anyway, I dropped a heap of money on a friend who I watched go through this musician process to get there. And right on the day, I'm not kidding, like it took 3 months to get us to this stage. Right on the exact day, of course, Murphy's Law, when I was meant to be submitted, this dude called Adam Quinn, something happened within the industry. He got robbed or something like that. So he essentially ratted on this dude. I need to fucking get YouTube red. He essentially ratted on this dude and said, I got him verified because it was his mate or something. This is a story. I got him verified. I used this musician route. And Instagram was like, oh, fuck, so we're actually shutting down your account unless you show us essentially who you've done it for everyone or something like this. This is what I've been told inside the WhatsApp. So we ratted out a shit ton of accounts, even the dude, okay, because there's a middleman who got his account verified through this process, and the dude who helped him through the musician route, he got his tick removed today, apparently. So everyone's been getting their blue ticks removed. I can't believe I was right on the point of getting my IG thing. If you look, I've got the Spotify set up, all these articles about a musician. I've taken a massive branding hit because, like I said, the amount of customers I would have lost due to, like, in the shadows that I hadn't even known, that have come across, seen, and been like, what is this? This isn't a dude from YouTube. This isn't this. This isn't that. And I don't reply on socials anymore, which is another topic. But, yeah, like, the amount of customers that I've lost, brand reputation lost, actual friends have messaged me and be like, bro, you must have got hacked. I unfollowed you. And I was like, no. Like, my close friends. And I was like, fuck. So I'm looking through it, and I'm like, I've wasted so much time, so much money, so I'm essentially going to throw one string out of hope tonight, and I'm just going to submit myself. You know, I've already got the articles up, we've already got the Spotify, we've already got all these things, so I'm going to submit myself. If it doesn't get done, I'll try and recuperate a refund from this guy. We're going to see how he goes. You know, it was guaranteed Instagram verification for the price point paid, but it was also guaranteed that it was meant to be done in 2 weeks. It's taken 3 months. So we're going to see how it goes. And like, what's bad is, I'm not going to mention anything yet because there's still a lifeline. But essentially, you know, if it doesn't get done, I know this guy's business, what he operates in. I'll mention his full name here because if he doesn't offer a refund for that price that I paid when I got nothing and wasted all this time, like the amount of time I wasn't running ads on my account, all this shit, I'll let you guys know so you can avoid him and his business. But I don't want to do that just yet. I am waiting to give him a chance. But I don't know. It's just like, you know, you can sense that energy like I ain't getting shit back. That's what it is. So I'll let everyone know here, just not to work with him if that's the case. And then, you know what we do? I talk about this in every single thing. Stop chasing dead money. People fuck around chasing dead goddamn money. Like the worst example, okay? We did like I showed this in a previous business. We did a repeat billing on some $12 website when I was offering the website for $12. Someone got charged the second time. They harassed my email support team for like 200 emails over $12. And it was like, oh my, like the amount of effort and time that it took my email team to reply was a massive strain. And I was like, why haven't we just refunded this motherfucker? Just refund, get them out of here. But that person was willing to dedicate that much time of their life to chasing down $12. It's not a person who values their own time, okay? And this is what I talk about so much, is that people spend the majority of their time chasing dead money instead of focusing on making new money, okay? It's insane to me. And this is why a lot of people stay broke. They dedicate not just chasing dead money, but they dedicate pools of their time to stupid shit. Stupid shit people dedicate their time to when there's higher leverage opportunities that you could be focusing on. I talk about this all the time, like leveraging the highest opportunity vehicle that you have available to you. But most of the time, people let their emotions take place and they fuck around wasting time. And I had a really good example there that popped up in my head, but I forgot it. And yeah, it's not just to do with refunds, but there are so many things that people fuck around wasting time with. Like, for example, you know, people, they spend so much time, they're like, I'm going to launch my business, and they fuck around like, oh, well, I need to get the correct logo. The logo's got to be perfect. The logo's got to be this. The logo's got to be that. My MacLife logo, MacLife, for my actual company, my PTY Ltd, my full company, took me 2 minutes to design on Canva. It just says the MacLife with the letters in the middle in red. And that was it. And then over time, as I built the Hive, I actually let the community, we had a fantastic member inside the community, go ahead and create an awesome logo for us. And yet people say, oh, the logo needs to be perfect. This needs to be perfect. The branding needs to be perfect. When you have no money coming through your business, your time needs to be spent on generation, lead generation, okay? And then later on, when you accumulate money, you use that to solve other system problems, like setting up correct customer service systems. Like I said, the best customer service, no customer service, read that book. Setting up the correct procedures, setting up things to mitigate churn rates. Solve the problems once you have money coming in. It's very, very important. People fuck around and waste time on dead money. So yeah, on that basically though, we led into that. We'll see how the IG goes. Maybe because we already have the Spotify done, we already have the articles done, we already have the Facebook, we already have the verified people that have commented on it, we already have all these things. Maybe if I submit it myself, okay, I'm leaving it to see the messages that come through today, but maybe if I leave it for myself and do it myself, we might still get verified. If not, it's fatality 7. And I really don't know what the next step is. I think to get verified on Instagram, my only next step would be to continue grinding YouTube until we hit 100,000 subscribers, and then, you know, try and use the route and say, look, I'm already well established on YouTube. Maybe get verified that way. So I will be disappointed if we don't get it, but you know, I've always, since I was a kid, and I was talking about this yesterday when I lost my car keys, I've always had this thing where at the last second, when there's nothing left, at the last second, I will always clutch anything and always have a stroke of good luck. Always. It always works out for me. Always at the last second, no matter what it is. At the last second, I always get the clutch. It always comes good. And it's happened in everything my entire life. I don't know why. In soccer, in sporting matches, you know, we'd be down like 2-3. And like, even when I was like shit at soccer, trying to get better, putting in work, I remember someone crossed it in from the corner. We were down 2-3 in the finals. and I went up to header it and completely missed the ball, but it hit my chest and went in the net. And everyone was like, fuck yeah, that was awesome. And I was just like, the clutch king. So I don't know, I've always had this stroke of good luck for getting it, so who knows, Instagram might be the same. The main focus of my business at the moment is mitigating churn rates. So from today, like I said, I'm leveraging software and systems. Me and some developers we're currently working, and Jordan as well, we're working through setting up some APIs and stuff through Kajabi, connected through Zapier and Discord to make everything systemized, leverage software a bit better as well, and then focus on the reduction of churn rate, because at any business, any subscription-based business, churn is the thing you should focus on. And if you look at every company in the recent years, they've all transitioned to this subscription-based model. And where it really become evident was Netflix and companies like this, Netflix. But also, if you look at the gaming sector, like my mate is heavy into games. And when I chat with him, I was like, well, what are you buying that for? And he's like, well, it's a pass. It's a season pass. And what happens is each season you pay and you get whatever you get, perks and stuff like that. And so I looked at it and I was like, instead of, they used to sell games, they still sell games, but instead of them selling games like a big, thick one-off game, now they've transitioned to moving users to a subscription, because a subscription is a lot more predictable in terms of growth. You build up your user base, you keep them happy, and you have a predictable churn rate over time once you accumulate enough data, and then you can just work on reducing churn. And you can see this in every sector is moving to this. Every app that you buy online, every bit of software, everything that has a premium like Canva, anything like this is transitioned to a subscription-based model. And it's just, I feel subscription-based models are the most effective business. And that's why OnlyFans is so effective. Not only do you get to charge a premium for the easiest thing to sell in the world, you get a subscription base before all of that. So you have a predictable revenue model, and you can focus on reducing churn and then upselling your customers and increasing LTV over time, which is insane. So that being said as well, next update is that the YouTube is starting to compound in growth. We're getting some traction on the reaction videos. People are really enjoying the reaction videos, which is awesome. The reaction videos have generated business now. Reaction videos to girls' OnlyFans accounts. I've had girls message across, working together with a handful of creators. Eventually, within the space of 2 or 3 weeks, they'll be referring their audience to come across to the Hive as well. So, I think the reaction videos, they've definitely been the better pick compared to the travel videos, which got no heat. But the travel videos are almost for myself, and they're kind of like a little bond. You get to see what I do in my life when I'm traveling and enjoying. And so I don't know. People say, oh, create a separate channel, but I don't feel that it's just a time waste to do that. I'll drop a vlog, maybe one vlog for each country that I go to, or when it's a crazy day. Other than that, I'll be continuously dropping reaction videos. And the business strategies, me talking about business ideas, previous businesses that I've ran, failures, that's going nuts. So I changed the playlist inside of YouTube to success secrets, from success secrets to business training. So if you want to look through all different business ideas as well, maybe you want to do something outside of OnlyFans or e-commerce, or you want to learn frameworks that you can apply for OnlyFans, go ahead and check that playlist there. And also, I haven't said it yet, hit subscribe and hit the little bell, because I'm dropping daily videos. I drop up to 4 videos a day. This is the grind, and this is why, because compounding growth. The day before yesterday, I said, look, we finally hit 500 a month USD, and it's taken this long for us to get paid 500 USD a month. That's what I'm getting paid from YouTube. And then very quickly that went to like 550, 570. Now it's already at 6. We're already at 6. Soon that will very quickly go to 7 in the space of a few days. Then 8, then 9, then it's $1,000 US a month coming in from YouTube. And like I said, I feel with maybe a year, I think it might take a year from now, 4 videos every single day, but it probably won't even take that long, to be honest. We'll be at the point where we're earning 10K a month from YouTube, which is another 120K a year that I hadn't even factored in. So, like I said, I think YouTube is the best opportunity vehicle you can leverage currently. And that ties into what Alex and Mozzie was talking about. And it just takes the right person who you respect and who you like and who you admire to say something that you already know, to cement it. And what he cemented today is that fame is probably the most effective business model you can use. To become famous, to become known, to build your personal brand, you don't actually have to be that good at business. You can be a level 2, say we're putting it in levels 1 to 10. You can be a level 2 skill set entrepreneur, okay, and make extreme amounts of money as long as you understand the correct opportunity vehicle to leverage and you become famous. Like, say for example, Mike Tyson, he doesn't box anymore, not recently, but he doesn't box, okay? And all he really has is that he's famous. Not to say anything bad about it. Like, it's not like that's all he has. But I'm saying all he really has is, he was a professional athlete. He's not an athlete anymore. But he's well known. He's famous. He's doing the rounds. He's doing the podcast. He's doing this. So if I was to ask Mike to come on, he could reasonably say to me, because he's famous, sure, but my time is worth $50,000 for that podcast appearance, $100,000. And it's simply for the fact that he has built a name for himself. He is famous. And I think becoming famous is the easiest way to acquire wealth in today's modern world. And it's never been easier than any point in history. Look in history. To become famous in the past, you had to either be an actor, okay, because it gave you media exposure, or you had to become a notorious serial killer, or you had to fucking be the most connected person within your circles that people talk about you word of mouth. Now I can sit there doing reaction videos to other cunts talking on YouTube and become famous. You've never had such a great opportunity in your life. So you need to be putting in the work. Fuck, I got the drilling going. Hopefully that's not too loud and you can still hear what's going on. And I think, the quickest way to become successful in terms of growth of your brand and in growth, whether it's a business you're growing or your personal brand, it's content marketing. And you should follow the stages that I've been talking about recently about building up on one platform long term, okay? Building up on one platform to the point where you can gather an audience. And then after that, okay, branching out and redistributing that across multiple platforms. These are the stages of growing and scaling. And then eventually hiring a team that can really reach out and put these into other places. Or instead of focusing on smaller platforms and hitting those platforms, have a team that can research newer platforms that are coming out and start to distribute your content on newer platforms, because if one of them takes off, you're in early and then you're going to get the virality growth there as well. But the last sort of principle I want to talk about to do with that is that it's not even about accumulating a massive audience. When I say famous, don't think you need millions of subscribers. You need to be famous within your community, because like I said with my mate Dan when we're overseas, I realized very quickly I was making, food videos in Asia doing these things. They were getting viral. Like, I was getting 1 million views on videos of me eating fucking bread. But none of that audience translates across into business or growing my brand with a valuable audience other than vanity metrics. And this is where a lot of people go wrong. What's the point of having a 1 million plus audience size of people who aren't going to buy from you and who aren't really in your niche or demographic, and you're producing content that you don't even like? It doesn't make sense. Wouldn't you rather have 1,000 followers but 100 active buyers in your area? Say you're a gardener in your area. Wouldn't you rather have the 1,000 people in the town know you and 100 of them want your gardening services? It makes way more sense. So that's what you need to focus on. Instead of vanity metrics, when I say getting famous, I mean building an audience of people who purchase from you, who support you, who are your true raving fans. The 1,000 True Fans is a great book to read about this concept. Okay, the last very quick two things I want to go over before we get into the OnlyFans stuff is, as you become bigger on the internet is vicious. You get people reacting to you who you don't know, people slandering you, people hating you, it will just continue to grow. People trying to bring up anything they could find in your past, any faults, any this, any that. And you've got to have strong character. And I think the best intrinsic value you can have to be able to deal with it is to say that you're a learner. You're a person who continues to learn. So regardless of if you're doing the right thing, the wrong thing, you've made mistakes, you feel that you're in an audience of people you don't know, whatever it is, okay? As long as you can say to yourself, I continue to learn and I have the ability to learn and get better, and I have the ability to learn, I have the ability to change, no one can take that from you. It's an intrinsic value that you have, and you will feel comfortable scaling into the moon. That's what I've found so far anyway. Okay, the last thing that I want to talk about for the OnlyFans content is that I can tell if people are going to be successful or not based on their initial random replies to anything. If I give someone a solution to anything, like I put up a very quick short the other day, and it was showing people how to drop ship and make money. It's not even showing them how to make money. It was showing them how I made my money. So it's not even telling people what to do. It's telling people what I did. Credibility. So I made my first 100,000 online by doing this. This is how I made my first $100,000 before I ever started selling courses or fucking anything to do with that, okay? I made my first $100,000 online by going to AliExpress, screenshotting products, posting them on Facebook Marketplace, and when people replied, I sent them to either Shopify or I sent them to PayPal or Stripe. And then I handled that procedure. And I had thousands of mistakes along the way, and I learned thousands of lessons along the way about product quality, how to filter products. I learned about customer satisfaction. I learned the refund process. I learned about chargebacks and disputes. I learned paid ads. I learned website creation and website building. I learned email funnels. I learned branding. I learned a bioaccumulation of a million skills that added up to making that first $100,000 online, which I did with dropshipping. And in the video, I just showed in 60 seconds how I did it. Now, someone commented this morning, yeah, that's fine, but if you get them to pay you with PayPal, you can get scammed. That was their response. And it's like, it's not even me showing you what to do, it's showing you what I did. People will try and find any justification for why not to do something because they're fucking lazy and they don't want to take risk. That's all it is. People are lazy and they don't want to take risk. So people will search for any sort of validation to show why what they're doing is correct and what you've done is wrong. So this person's like, yeah, but you could get scammed on PayPal. And I've figured out how to word it correctly. They're people that search for problems rather than searching for solutions. In her own question, she gave the solution. Yeah, but on PayPal, you could get scammed. Then don't use PayPal. Use Stripe. Then figure out ways to mitigate the chances of people scamming you. You can get scammed in any business in the world. Think about ways to mitigate that. Okay, move them across to Shopify, a platform where they can pay and then you can track and you can put in disputes. And Stripe even has that there, where if someone puts it in, you have a dispute thing where you can do that. Same thing with PayPal. Yeah, someone scams you, they do this. Make sure you use paid tracking, okay, so you can show it was delivered, and make sure you use signature on delivery so you can show that it was signed for on delivery. Very, very simple, these things that you can do. But people will search for problems rather than searching for solutions. And I hear this time and time again. Before even attempting it, 90% of the time, people will search for problems. Like, I'll give you an OnlyFans example for a manager. This is how you find girls. You can cold DM 1,000 girls on Instagram, email, TikTok, message them through YouTube, leave comments. Eventually, you're going to get one that wants to work with you. And people say, yeah, well, they 99% won't reply. You've given yourself the answer there. 1% will reply. So increase the quantity. You already know the answer, but you just want to complain. You just want to whinge. You don't want to take risk and you don't want to put in the work. And if you're one of those lazy cunts, you need to get off this channel now. And there's nothing wrong with searching for solutions and asking for support. That is the quickest way to learn. But if you have the character trait of flipping of why something won't work, rather than searching for the answer, you will always fail in business. Because the moment someone can't help you, okay, you will fail. And you're capping yourself. You're not an experimenter. So you're a fucking imp. Okay, let's get into it. OnlyFans content. Hit subscribe. Now, these are the biggest things that you have to watch out for when starting OnlyFans. By far, the very first thing is not having a plan. I've talked about this the last couple of days. If you do not have an exit strategy, if you do not know how much money you want to make from OnlyFans, you will fail. You have no deep enough why. You have no intrinsic motivators to keep you motivated on the days when things get easy. See, I didn't say hard. On the days when things get easy, nothing will keep you motivated to succeed. If you're already making say you're making nothing, and you start OnlyFans and you get it to the point where you're making $2,000 a week, barely putting in any work, you will not continue on. The only time you'll work harder is when you scroll through Instagram, you see fucking Janice has got a new Dolce or Versace bag, and you compare to them, and then you'll put in more work and you work harder because you fired off some little envy trait. But instead of that, when you don't have an intrinsic motivator to keep you motivated, it's not when things get hard you'll quit, it's when things get easy you'll quit, because you become complacent. And then over time, people who take it easy when things are easy always get eradicated from the people who put in the concrete work. And you can't just say to yourself, oh, I'm going to be consistent, I'm going to be this. It's not enough unless you have an intrinsic motivator to run from and to run to. For me, it's very easy. The reason that I will put in videos every single day, I'll show up when I already make enough money that I could sit at home and do nothing all day. The reason I film videos every single day, the reason that I'll continue to put in the work is because I have things that I'm running from. I never want to be poor again. I was in a poorer family growing up. and I'm running two things. I want complete freedom. I want my family's complete freedom. I have deep enough reasons why that I'll show up each day. And if you don't have these things, okay, and I know you're like, oh, this is an OnlyFans strategy. It is. This is the biggest one you can have. If you don't have these deep enough reasons why, you won't succeed. So get an exit strategy or a game plan. So say, for example, you want your dream $1 million house. Write down, I want this $1 million house. Where's it going to be? Okay, what block of land is it going to be on? Which location is it going to be on? Where the fuck's it going to be? How much is the actual development cost of this place? Figure it all out, write that down, get some pictures, then write down the unit economics. If it's $800,000, okay, can I do this in 1 year? I need to make $800,000. How much is that a day? Well, that would be $300 profit a day times 8. 8 threes, 8, 16, 24. I need to make $2,400 profit a day, okay, every day of the year to acquire that goal. Okay, now I've got to add on tax. Let me figure that out. So plus 30%. Okay, I've got a plus 30% on top of my 2,400. But if I'm making 2,400 post-tax every day of the year, okay, I'll make it there. And then you figure out, okay, well, does that mean how much should I charge for content? It's going to be a lot easier to sell 24 pieces at $100 compared to 240 pieces at $10. Okay? Oh, I think I did the math correctly. Yeah, I did the math correctly there. Fuck, that was good. That was all quick math. Now, the next thing is not treating it as a business. If you're in the OnlyFans game and you're treating it as like a hobby almost, there's no point. Unless you want to just make an extra couple $100 and stick with your job, you need to treat it as a business. And businesses don't care about your emotions. Businesses don't care about how hard you try. Business is ruthless. I've gone through so many failures in business thinking I've fucking got it working. Then my ad account will get shut down. Then just get something perfect, then this happens. Then a dispute happens, then this, then that. Business does not care about your feelings. Business cares about what must take place in order to get that result. That's all it cares about. So you need to treat your OnlyFans, whether you're a creator or a manager, you need to treat it as a business, okay? You need to be consistent and you need to put in the work that the business requires, not how hard you can try. It doesn't care about that. If you can only try so hard, figure out ways to employ other people or leverage other people's time or leverage software or leverage media or leverage capital to get done what the business needs to succeed. And success will be based on your goal, your game plan, okay? And then you'll succeed predicated on how well you can execute on that plan, not how hard you work or how positive you feel about the business. Treat it like a business. Ruthless. And this is the last thing. Okay, I know the OnlyFans content was a lot smaller today. It was very, very small. But these are really the three things that you need to focus on. And 90% of people that I speak with, I hope you're not one of them, don't have these three things down in order. So if you don't have them down in order, you shouldn't be focused on marketing strategies or LTVs or churn rate or anything else. You should be focused on those three things. And the third one is, hit subscribe. Now the third one is getting yourself in a community. You need to get into a community of people who know what they're doing around you because it can shortcut time. I don't care if it's my program or someone else's program. I don't care whose thing you decide to go with, but you need to be in a community of like-minded people because they're the ones that are going to motivate you. They're the ones that are going to push you. They're the ones that are going to show you. Think about Olympic sprinters. None of them got there on their own. They all credit their coaches. They credit their training partners. They have nutritionists. They have a team. They have a community of people with a shared common goal. You need that. If you need a community who also wants to make serious amounts of money on OnlyFans, you need to find that community. You need to plug in and you need to get to fucking work. Now, obviously, I have my program there, so I'm going to be biased. We have the Hive Mind. We already have that, 500 members and all the training. But if you want to go with another community, that's fine. But just get into a community ASAP. It will shortcut your time massively. And I'll give you a quick example why. I was making all this money from Facebook Marketplace, and then I met this dude called Ben who ended up becoming a business partner on some things, and me and him are very, very good friends. And he made a lot of money, made millions within crypto and all these other places. And he said to me, how are you making this money? Like, he thought I was selling some course or something. I didn't have anything like that at the time. I was just running my store. And I said, well, I'm making it all through Facebook Marketplace. And I was actually very scared at the time. I had a very scarcity mindset. I didn't want to give away my secrets, which is the stupidest thing ever. Drop the pen. Every video I drop that pen. I didn't want to give away my secrets, but I told him, I said, bro, I actually just use Facebook Marketplace. What do you do? He said, I'll run a furniture store, a drop shipping store. It's very big. But he was so advanced at that stage. He had a physical warehouse in Sydney that people could go in, look at the actual furniture, because that was one of the things people want to see, the furniture, feel it. He had one display of everything, and then he would drop ship it to their house and say, yeah, it'll be here in 7 days, okay? Because he had big enough margins, and he really taught me about understanding margins and shipping times. And he was like, this is the stage I'm at. And so when I told him I'm using Facebook Marketplace, he was like, fuck, what do you sell? And I was like, I sell streetwear and luxury fashion and these things. And he was like, well, I'm going to do it on Facebook Marketplace if that's okay. And I was like, of course, bro, we're not even in the same industry. So he started doing that and making more money than he was already making. And I said to him, but how do you make your money? How do you drop ship if you weren't using Marketplace? And he said, bro, I use Google shopping ads. And these were so big at the time. And I said, I tried ads. I tried Google ads. I couldn't get them to work. I lost all this money. And he said, yeah, you tried normal Google ads, not shopping ads. Shopping ads take your catalog, they put it up, and they only charge money when people click on them. And I was like, fuck, I didn't know if it would work or not. I said, well, it might not work with mine. You're already, ranking high for furniture. And he said, well, you've helped me with Marketplace. I'll set it up for you. And I said, well, what is it going to cost? He said, nothing. You've helped me, I'll help you. This is the importance of a community. He said, you help me, I'll help you. I said, okay, thank you, bro. And he essentially went on my Ozlux, set up all the Google shopping, and then it took a little bit to get momentum, like a week or 2 weeks or whatever, and then my first sale come through, and in Shopify you can track where it comes from, and I was like, must have been, from Facebook. I clicked through and it was like, come from Google Shopping. And I was like, Google Shopping? I was like, fuck, how much have I spent? And I went across, I'd spent like $1.30 in 2 weeks. I'd spent $1.30. My campaign budget was like $10 a week, he said it at. He said until it built up some data. It was at $1.30 and it made a sale. It was like either a pair of shoes or a handbag or something. And I made like $100 profit minus the $1.30. And I was like, fuck, bro, that's insane. And then obviously $30 for the shoes. And then it ramped up. And then he taught me how to scale and taught me scaling. But the importance is I went from making whatever I was doing, like maybe 100K, up to 150, 160, added an extra 60K on top a year, simply because of the fact that I connected with one person, we shared some value, and we helped each other. And that's why I understood communities are so important, and it doesn't exist in the Onlyfans community. And it doesn't exist the way I've created the Hive. There's all these other shitty programs out there, and sure, you can go ahead and join them. You'll find some valuable people. But we got 500 members inside the Hive Mind now. 500 people, and I kick people who aren't dedicated. They're dedicated to two things, OnlyFans and e-commerce, okay? Making money online, branding, building a community, sharing value. And the amount of shit that goes down there each day, like how to set up VPNs, how to set up proxies. I'm using Bumble now. I'm using this method. This is how I closed a dude. I'm telling them they're a simp. I charge them $100. I charge this dude $600. I made $6,000 in a day, and these are genuine examples. So that's the three things. You really need to focus down that. Having your exit strategy, okay, or having a plan of what you're going to work towards. Treating it as a business, okay? Not treating it as you feel about it or a hobby. Treat it as a business and then find a community. Hit subscribe. I hope you enjoyed, okay? You can join the Hive if you want. Links down below. And I will see you all for tomorrow's podcast 146 tomorrow. We are humming. Pucker.